Good evening, good afternoon. What happened to me today? How's everybody? Welcome to Straight Talk Feng Shui review of AMO residences. I'm not so sure whether should we call it AMO residences or AMO residences.
AMO.
AMO. All right. Great shout out to Jason. Jason, how are you? Nice to see you again. Always supporting us. So thank you. So thankful of you. You notice AMO is selling very well now. In fact, I think it was a Boomtown Charlie yesterday. However, I think based on our intel, there are some units left. Don't rush to it. I think very importantly, don't rush. Come to talk to us first, listen to our show before we actually give you some good advice before you actually jump into signing the dotted line.
Well, okay? Maybe some good tips too.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Today in the studio, we have Master Eric with me.
Hi.
And our beautiful Wendy today is down with COVID. We wish her speedy recovery. And
stay positive.
Okay, so first and foremost, I think we definitely want to thank our official sponsor. I think this is very important. Our official sponsor would be RenoTalk, the number one Renopedia, the number one Reno platform for you to look for interior designer. Okay, that is sponsoring and supporting us throughout our career. So we're really thankful for RenoTalk. The second to sponsor us would be Sky Creation, and we are happy to announce Sky Creation is allowing us to use their showroom once again.
Yep.
Okay.
And, we're here at New Road.
New Road, correct. Yep. All right. And Sky Creation would be the best interior designer for you to choose because of their reputation and because of their certifications. Okay, they are in the market for a long time, very stable.
It's a one-stop shop where you can get everything done here.
Correct. Yeah. We have a very big showroom in Paya Lebar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so look out for their advertisement, look out for their updates. You can visit the showroom. The showroom is 6,000 over square feet with a 4-room flat inside the showroom. Okay, only one in Singapore, the biggest in Singapore actually. Okay, good. Today we also want to bring in our masters. We are very fortunate to bring in one of the most pretty Feng Shui masters in the Singapore, or I should say maybe in the world, and that's Master Charlene. So why is she paiseh?
I'm paiseh one Master KK.
Okay, so she's also probably the only master that can bake right now. having said that, we are still waiting for the cake since last month. Master Charlene has been interested in Chinese metaphysics since the age of 14, specialized in Feng Shui, specialized also in numerologies, okay, and that's her forte. Master Charlene is also somebody who is very热情 in terms of helping people to settle their issues, current issues.
Passionate.
Yeah. So if you have any questions regarding definition, numerologies, Feng Shui, do approach Master Charlene. Okay. We also today have 远在他方在他乡的 Master Guo. Master Guo is today with us.
From?
Master Guo is actually in Malaysia, KL. Today he's there attending some courses, and Mr. Guo loved metaphysics, but however, he always thought that metaphysics, Feng Shui needs to buy a lot of auspicious item, and hence he was put off until he come across proper Feng Shui masters and start learning the proper trade in Feng Shui, and that changed him. Okay, so Master Guo, you have anything to say to us?
Hi, greetings from KL. So happy to be here to share about this AMO residence. So if you haven't buy or you want to buy, then this Facebook Live is for you.
It's called AMO Residences, it's not AMO.
It's the same lah, the AMO stay one.
AMO. Okay.
Yes, it's in Ang Mo Kio.
Okay, a great shout out to ES2 as well. Good afternoon. I'm sure a lot of people wants to buy this property, or maybe it's one of the hottest property in the market, and we just want to tell you that there are a few things you need to which we are very concerned.
Well, there's no perfect place, but we'll try to cover whatever that we find out, and hopefully we'll give you a peace of mind. And don't worry, anything can be done in the internal Feng Shui way. Yeah.
Correct. Good. So this is our whole team today. Master Simas is also in Malaysia. He has some personal things to handle. Master Sharon as well. And then we also want to have a disclaimer over here. Okay, so this is our personal view of the property. It has nothing to do with any gain or losses in your investment decision. Okay, and the difference between Feng Shui and modern Feng Shui is Feng Shui basically you need to buy a lot of auspicious items, a lot of ornaments, turning your house basically into very old Chinese temple zoo kind of feeling. As for modern Feng Shui, Circle 96, basically we use your existing furnitures, existing household renovation, existing appliances to create a harmony household where health and prosperity is also being looked after. Okay, that's the biggest difference between us. Okay, and we also have 6 ebooks written for you. The very first ebook that we want to strongly advocate to people who has already got a house and want to improve their current Feng Shui, and that's called Peace of Mind. It's written by Master Sharon and myself. And then for friends, like today, you are out there looking for your AMO residences. You really want to get yourself this ebook. Okay, it's the 7 vital information that property agents will not tell you. I'm not saying everything bad about property agents. I'm just saying that property agents has only one job and they want to sell the property to you. After what happens when you stay inside the property is really none of their business. So there are certain things that they are educated by the developers. There are certain things that they are given information, but it's all just to sell properties. Okay, they may not be able to give you the proper insiders information. Okay, and of course, a lot of people are looking to the dollars and cents, whether I can make money in this property after a few years. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my advice to you is, why don't you get money the moment you moved in? Why must you wait for a few years? Okay, so, all right, and then we have a third book, especially for business owner. This was written during the height of the COVID pandemic. It's for business owner who are wondering why some business just same trade as them is doing well as they are not doing well. Maybe you just sabotage yourself. And a fourth book we've written, especially for mothers, it's written by all the masters. And this is to help mothers improve their health. I think mother's health is always on the top of gender all the time. Okay. And for friends who have children going to school, they are worried about their education. This one has a lot of insiders tips for you. A lot of contributions from Master Charlene, Master Simas, Master Fong, and myself. Okay, and Master Charlene smiling, already. You know why lah? Chinese top girl, top school, big brain girl, we call them. Okay, and for people who's going to get their keys on the do renovation, we have a book for you, 27 Interior Designer Myth. Okay, whether the mirror can face the bed or not. whether you can have a toilet inside the room or not, etc., etc. It's all out there for you. Okay, good. And after you finish this, we will definitely give you the link to collect all this ebook. All
It
right?
is written in the very plain, simple English, so anyone can follow and check everything out and have a peace of mind.
Yeah. Simple English because I'm dyslexic, so I use a lot of pictures inside, easier. Okay, good. I think today we start. Hey, don't smile, don't laugh at me, Mother Charlene. 你知道我有短处的吗？
Never laugh lah. I just smiling because I agree with you, Master KK. You just use simple English, right? You can communicate the message very clearly. You know, with pictures, it makes it very easy to understand also.
Correct. Thank you. Good. Thank you so much for your assurance. Okay, today I think we want to start off with the North sector. All right. Maybe I'll start off with the North sector. Maybe okay.
Sure. Anyone? Yeah.
Okay. So North sector basically is the this is the map. This is the map for where AMO residences or AMO residences is. Okay, and this map is provided by streetdirectory.com. And I strongly advise everyone who is looking for a property to house hunting, please use streetdirectory.com because they're the best. First and foremost, they're very colorful, they're very precise, and most important, because of the color they use, you can tell whether it's benefiting to you or not. Okay, now the North sector represents the year 2020 because North symbolizes a few things. First of all, if you heard of the 5 elements, the water, the earth, the metal, the fire, the wood. So this North represents water element. So when you actually have a school in the North sector, it symbolizes very good. It means that the second son, because North represents the second son, is relatively hardworking. Okay, it also represents the hearing for the family. It also represents the kidney, cash flow, etc. So relatively good. All right. This property, I would say, for the North sector, I have nothing much to complain. All right.
Well, if the fire school represents fire in the north, if you're owning a business, and then that year would be quite good for you because North water controls the fire, so that will be your wealth. Yeah.
Masters, anything to add on regarding the North sector? Master Charlene and Master Paul, if anything to add on regarding the North sector?
No, all good.
Okay, good. All right, good. Northeast sector. I think suppose Master Simas told us a bit about Northeast sector. He wants us to share, and because he's not here, I'll just relate his conversation, his message to everyone. There is a MRT station in the Northeast sector, which is excellent. Right, it symbolizes that's going to be prosperity in the year 2021 and 2022. Northeast basically represents 2 years, 2021 and 2022, and Northeast also represents the family, also represents career, and most importantly also represents children, all right, and harmony. So the body parts that represents Northeast are your shoulder, your neck. For the ladies who are very concerned will be the skin, the breast. For ladies who's going to be pregnant, is about pregnancy as well. Okay, also represents your arms. Okay, now if you are also a working person, all right, then North is also talking about your career platform. If you're running a business, your Northeast represents your manpower. On the surface, Northeast seems to be excellent, okay, because of the MRT station and all. However, there is certain things that's lurking behind, which we want to bring our concern. First and foremost, there's slightly after the MRT station, there is a town. There's an MOQ town
Garden
West, correct,
a big park. Yeah,
correct, and that's the one that is a bit of concern to us. Okay, and that one, it's basically giving us a lot of stress to the family in terms of health issues. It could be, especially if you have old folks, and then that health issues could be also linked to severe skin rashes problems, shoulder, arms, neck problems, things like that. If you're working for MNC, a bit of concern again, because why? I'll share with you much later. Okay, we'll share much later. We'll move on to the East sector. Maybe the East sector, we can invite Master Kuo. Master Kuo, would you be...
So let me share the East sector.
Yeah. Okay. Come, Master Kuo, you want to share with us the East sector?
Okay, as everyone can see, right? There are 3 schools there in the east sector. So what does the east stands for? The east stands for the element of the wood. Okay, it also represents the first sun. So if there are 3 schools there, that means, right, the fire is actually exhausting the wood. So it's something that I don't really like, I would say. Then, the east also represents your liver, your leg. So probably you might have some issue with liver issue, leg issue. Then, we always say that the east also represents this thing called action, 行动. Okay. It also tells me that probably if you have a son, right, you stay here, right, your son is quite, I should put it in a way, is not very, a bit 宅男 lah. Don't like to go out and
Not so
maybe move
active.
around. Huh?
Not so active, you mean?
Yes, not so active. If we put it bluntly, it's called lazy. If we phrase it nicely, it's not so active. Okay, so if
But
you
young
got a big
parents,
son, right, you need to
but
push
young
him more,
parents like to stay
hit him
in
on the
school,
backside.
right? Young parents like to stay near school. So in school, in which direction is good? Because now you say that it's in the east. East is not good. So where is good for schools?
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Well,
Because
if you got a school like on the north is very good, or on the south is also very good. Of course, the northeast and the southwest got school, right, is also very good. But whereas the east, the southeast, west, and northwest, right, it's better not to see any school there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think when developers or property agents want to push a property to you, they always tell you there are certain good schools surrounding the properties and enhance and entice you to purchase a property or push up the price much further. But however, in the eyes of Feng Shui, not every school is good for you. What Master Kua mentions very clearly that he has 3 schools in the east, and the implication will be probably some cholesterol issues, some leg issues for the family problems for the family, some leg problems. I also see there's a community center in the east. Master, what do you think the community center in the east has any implication to the children or the year 2023?
Well, if you ask me about community center, right, probably the first son, right, is quite well liked maybe among his friends. He's the happy-go-lucky type. Because if you can see that he is a very inactive person, right, he's more of the in Chinese we call 乐天派. Everything just 可以啦, 青菜啦, the community center.
Good. But I also see there's a danger lurking. I probably define it as there will probably be a small surgery going on in 2023. If you have a small surgery in the year 2011, then you want to reflect again to be careful in 2023. Okay, because 12 years is one cycle. 12 years ago for 2023 will be 2011. If you did experience some health issues in terms of small surgery, then you must be careful. It can also lead to some issues with the legs that you need to go for surgery. Not necessarily in the year 2011, but the legs or the liver may have gone through some surgery because east represents the leg as well.
So that means to say that this the schools will so-called activate and affect the limbs more. So maybe a lot of knocks, bruises, falls, or even twisted ankles, might happen. Yeah.
It could be also as small as an ingrown toenail, or just some problems with the insole, things like that. So not necessarily major issues, but can cause problems. Mosquito bites as well.
Don't worry. It all can be settled internally in the Feng Shui manner.
Yeah. We try to make sure that the children don't have 5 cents and 10 cents. Okay, good. Southeast, I think I would like to invite Master Charlene. Master Charlene is also first daughter in her family, so I'm sure she will share 2 with us, Southeast and the South sector. Would that be okay, Master Charlene?
Sure, of course. The thing is just a little bit small on my screen, but if I'm looking at it correct, yes. In the southeast sector represents the first daughter, represents things like your nerves, also represent some of your blood vessels. So, for illnesses relating to like stroke or clogged blood vessels, all these also a key area that you look at will also be the southeast sector. And something that I'm looking here at the southeast is I see a lot of playgrounds over there. There's almost like 3 playgrounds over there. Also the Methodist Church. So all these have very strong signs of metal. And when you have strong signs of metal controlling into your southeast, that also means that you might get numbness of the body very easily. Sort of your nerves don't really flow very well. Maybe even blood vessels get clogged very easily. So I think from a health perspective, that is what I'll be a little bit more worried about for the southeast sector. If we look a little further in the southeast sector, you do see there's some bodies of water there also, slightly more favorable. But I think what has a larger impact will still be the playground that is closer to where the unit is at. What does the water bodies slightly further mean? How can we tap on the goodness of that if you already have a unit there? Stay tuned to hear a little bit more about this in our fan club. So just giving you a very sneak peek that I think in the southeast, largely what I see is negative factors based on the playgrounds, but there is small little bright spots because of the ponds of water in the park that's slightly further away. So moving on to the south sector, right? South sector is a sector that I look at especially much for couples who are getting a house together, families who are getting a house together, because the south of the house represents to me a lot about the relationship of the individuals itself. If you recall our previous Smashing Summit, which we were talking about, how is it that you can have a good relationship? I think what Masako was talking about a lot is about the south sector, how your feng shui of the south sector itself is very important. So AMO was one of the examples that he raised. If you see, there's actually a bow and arrow there in the south sector. Also that black color, what's that called?
Overhead
The black
bridge.
color, yes, the bridge, the black color bridge. Not very favorable signs. Personally, I feel like for a house which you are looking to get as a couple, as a family, the south sector is extremely important also because for you to build a very strong family, you need that very good foundation base. When you have a bow and arrow in the south sector, sometimes it can indicate things like perhaps betrayal in relationships, or maybe the individual's just not very expressive in terms of trying to express their emotions or even to connect emotionally with each other as a family. So I think for the south sector, generally I would say it's not very favorable, even though it's a park that is there. The energy of the place, the structure of how the road is, plus that black bridge, overall puts it as slightly less favorable. In terms of health conditions, I would have you extra watch out for heart issues also, and also to watch out on your relationships to really build on that. To make sure that you make the best out of the place.
Thank you very much, Master Charlene. That was very useful. Now, a lot of people are wondering, why are we doing this? Are we paid by the developers or the property agents to do this? Well, we are not. Basically, when Circle 96 embarked into a project of doing this feng shui review for all the condominiums, we know that people are not going to be happy. And who are the people that's not going to be happy? It will be the people of the developers or especially property agents, because we only say the truth and nothing but the truth. It's all our opinions regarding the properties. What's going to be happy are who are people going to be happy about this are the people who wants to buy the properties or look into the properties, interested in the properties, because they know we are telling them the truth and they want to have this extra information. And this information will let them decide whether they want to go ahead with the property or not. I think these are very important informations. Of course, as Circle 96, we basically value our clients more. We want them to have better informed decision before they make a purchase. Okay. Now, I also understand that we saw some waters ponds in the south sector. I want to highlight a little bit more. The name of the pond is actually called Lotus Garden. Okay, so lotus with fire element, not so bad. That's the reason why I said children may have a tendency, all right, 50% possibility, 50% not possible, that the children have some learning difficulties, challenges in academic. Because of the water elements over there, academic is fire element. When you have water element in the south, it's a bit of a challenge to the children. Sometimes you just need to spend a bit more time, or they need to grow out of it. Having said that, lotus is fire element. So like I said, they need not be good in school academic. They will be have opportunity to learn more things very fast, go with their hands and etc. Okay, so do not just look into academic. All right. Anything else to add on, Masters?
No, not on the south. Yeah.
Master Core, anything to add on?
No,
Good. Okay. Can I invite Master Core to tell us more about Southwest? Master Core.
sure. Okay, the southwest, as you all can see, right, is actually represents the mother. Okay, it's a very important sector. I always tell people, look at that. You see the park. There's a patch of green down there. Then at the bottom, there is this. I think it's a reservoir, if I'm not wrong. It's also a patch of green, the grass green. So you can see that the southwest sector, right, which is represented by the earth element, right, is rather weak because the wood is actually countering the southwest sector.
Mm.
But there's one school there. Okay, so the school will of course strengthen this sector. And he also tells me that the mother of this house, okay, is what we call the so-called 女强人.
Career
Okay,
woman.
so it's very tedious because if you have to juggle your work, your career, and your family life, right, is a bit tedious for the mother. So, if you happen to hear this, right, you better buy LV for your wife. Then the kids, right, better 听的妈妈话多一点. Okay, then of course, when we talk about health issue, right, the southwest also represents the digestive system, 肠胃, then 脾胃. Okay, so probably they will have some gastric issues, 胃胀风 all this thing. Then it also represents the womb. Okay, these are something that probably people stay there have to take note of. Okay, then there are more secret to the southwest, right? I will share more in the fan club. Okay, so yeah, that's all for me.
Okay, this just to a glimpse of what Master Core will share in the fan club. Just a slight glimpse for you to entice you. So, Master Charlene, just want to ask you something. When you say the South also represents the year 2014 and 2026, which is coming. So, are you telling me that when you say there are certain things that not so favorable in the coming on this the South sector, will all this relationship just only happen in the coming year 2026? Or we're also expecting it from now to 2026.
Yeah, so 2026 is when you see the effect the most because that has the highest probability. But even in your daily dealings, even anything that has to got to do with relationship, anytime, anywhere, right? There's also a chance of happening because that is indicative of your personality, indicative of the things that's happening around you. You see the effect greatest in the year 2026, but does not mean it will only happen in that year.
Yeah, I want to strongly stress this because in the South, when we know that South is not so strong, South also represents documentations. It means to say putting your signature to anything and everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are there out there now or considering to put anything on the dotted line regarding this property, think twice, go through our videos properly, join our fan club to learn more, consider properly before you sign the signature. And if you have certain emotions because of our speech, that means we press the right button. Consent, consent, okay, and consent. All right, Master Ko, I think you also mentioned just now that the Southwest has a large part of a school, which also emphasizes that the mother is a strong character, which is good. However, the health of the mother needs to be really taken care of. Now, I want to share something with everyone here. That is, if you are considering to buy any property, not just this AMO Park or MO Park, we have a book, a physical workbook ready, okay, created for you, a book that can write and go through continuously. Because to go through, make sure that you know what you're buying. And this book is so guiding you towards selecting the proper house. We even have step-by-step guides to tell you how to draw the map, how to find out from the map which building is good, which building is not good, and give you the calculation of how many points per sector. And if you have a bad sector, what are the implications for you? If you have a bad sector, what are the health issues for you? Which year is going to happen to you? It's all spelled out very clearly in this book. And this book is very cheap. It's only $47 for the book. And you get the first 20 people who purchase this book will get a 30 minutes house analysis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're buying a property is 1/1,000,000. $47 is really peanuts. Okay. Now, for friends who are looking to buy properties, are not so sure whether they can purchase this property or not, we have a service with a package where you just pay us 1,588, and then for the first 6 people only, will get a free book. Now, why we talk about money so fast, ladies and gentlemen? When you want to be serious with your property, we are also serious in getting you a good property. Money is just a byproduct. It's very small. Okay, but your property costs you 1/1,000,000. Your property also will cost your family, your health, your career, your children, etc. Many implications.
That's
Okay,
right.
do not just look into just the money value of the property or how much you're going to gain. Look into it at how much health problems, how much house problem you're going to have.
Mhm.
Right? Good. So, if you are looking for a house feng shui service, scan the QR code below. We also are able to help you to do a modern feng shui house service. I think we pride ourselves, masters, if you agree with me, that the moment you walk into the house, nobody knows that your house has been feng shui by us because we are that modern. Okay, and nothing to buy. That's most important. We basically will create a house so harmony for you that it's basically blending into your lifestyle. Okay, we have something to say from Jason. Jason has something to say. Yes, Jason says, "What? This book helps a lot for any layman. At the same time, I learned a lot more. Thank you, Jason. Wow, this one, never pay him to say one. Huh? This one is a true supporter.
Well, this is a guidebook, so it will tell you clearly what to look out for and to choose your property. But this guidebook is not for remedy. Okay, remedy got it done by the masters. Okay, don't do it yourself and learn from the YouTube or from the book. Okay.
Like what Master Eric say, this is strictly for house selection only. Okay. Again, I want to tell everybody there is no perfect property at all, or even the property that we are staying in. There are some flaws, but it can be remedied. Okay, and don't need to spend money in remedying it. All right, good. So I think Master Charlene pointed out very clearly that would be the Lotus Garden in the south, which is a big concern. Okay, now before we actually go into the site map, Master Paul also mentioned about the southwest. So what kind of health issues are going to have if the southwest is not strong? Master Eric, you want
Well,
to?
if you constantly have tummy issues, constipation issues, digestive issues, then your southwest is being affected. So take note of that. If you're already having those issues, look into your southwest. Okay, get this guidebook, check all the external energies information that is affecting you. Yeah, then check us out where we can give you some remedies to do it. Yeah.
Good. So uterus and womb also is one of them.
Yes.
If you have a history of cysts and fibroids and things like that, you really want to look at your southwest. All right. But we'll share more in the fan club.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right.
Good. Can I do the west sector? Let me do the west sector, and then we all congregate and then do the northwest sector. Where northwest sector represents the money.
Keep some for the fan club.
Keep some for the fan club. Yeah, probably 10. Okay. Good. Fan club people. No, not fan club people. Everybody here. I think the west sector represents communication. Communication among the family, communication at home, communications to everybody out there. Okay. West sector also represents the throat, the dental. All right. West sector also represents the lungs. West sector represents the year 2017, and future will be 2029. Okay. West sector also represents the third daughter. That means you must have 2 sisters above you. Okay. I see there are 3 petrol stations in the west sector. It symbolizes a few things. It symbolizes that whether the voice of the family maybe not so good lah. That means you need to spend a lot more time practicing in KTV before you can actually go and join your friend for a KTV session. We need to say 唱歌不好听 lah, okay? Okay, or you like to scream. Family members love to scream. Scream at what? Scream at each other. Okay. Watch out for dental problems. About a lot of 火气很大, a lot of this eat hay, they call it. Okay. It can also means that when you talk, pretty direct, pretty straightforward. Family who stays here also probably has a significantly higher taste bud. They are more picky and selective for their food. But all these are small issues. Why I say small issues? Because the other one that I'm big concerned is that there's a big, huge pond, the lower piers and upper piers one, the
Yes,
piers,
that's
the,
right.
the reservoir.
Mm.
When the west sector, your reservoir, and if you're a managerial positioned, if you have a housemate, that means a house helper. If you're a director, that means you have people working under you. There are a few issues going to happen. Insubordination, you'll feel a lot, or you get a lot of insubordination, a lot of incompetent stuff. Okay, a lot of incompetent subordinates. Even your house helper, also what they call 熬血, throw blood. Okay, teach already, also don't understand also do wrongly, etc. So if you have experienced some atrocity in the year 2017, you also must watch out in the year 2018, especially with children with asthma problems. You really want to be careful of what's in the lungs and things like that. Okay. Yes, there's a large patch of green in the west sector, which is very favorable. Nothing bad about it. In fact, it's very good. But what we are concerned is that this large green portion there, it's basically diluted by the water. Okay, hence you really have problems communicating properly with your friends or your peers or to anybody. Okay, and for the third daughter, if you're a third daughter in the family, that means you have two elder sister above you. A bit challenging for you. Your PT also a bit temperamental, a bit hot, short fuse.
That's right.
Yeah, very short fuse. 掐杂货.
Well,
Okay.
speak with fire.
Speak with fire.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my concern. Anything else to add on, Masters?
Well, the west sector, right? You better don't be a public speaker. No one will listen to you.
Cannot be in PR also.
Or salesman.
So actually, the west sector, once you see a lot of water or a lot of fires, generally speaking, you really need to improve on your communication, and not just communication. Everybody has a voice image, everybody has a physical image. So the voice image that is not going to be very good if your west sector is not good at all. Okay.
Yeah, basically you can't change the external environment or the energy, but you can change where you choose to live and how we conduct ourselves.
Yeah. And if you have already purchased a property, what we strongly suggest is that get a hold of one masters, try to improve on it. Okay, improve the sectors that we mentioned that's not good. Like I said, there's no perfect properties. Hence, when you purchase a property, you need to enhance it. Okay, the remedy are there for you. All right. Good. Let's talk about the northwest sector. Now, before we actually go into the northwest sector, we want to talk about a bit more about what is a northwest sector. Maybe every masters here we share a few things. Okay. Let me just read that again. I go ahead first. Northwest sector represents the father figure. Okay. Also represents the boss. Also represents the year 2018, 2019. Future will be 2030, 2031. Okay. So bear in mind these few information. These are going to be useful for you when you look into the northwest sector. Okay. Yeah. Masters, you want to go ahead? Master Eric?
Well, northwest is also a metal element. So northwest, let's look at the map. What will we have there?
A lot of green.
Yeah, basically it's quite clear. A lot of greens. Father is capable. Or seniors in the families, males especially, is a capable person. And look on further. What is this? This is Thompson Community Club, is it? Oh, this is pretty good. And by looking further on, you have this forested area going over this Thompson Road, Upper Thompson Road. That means if you're in business, your overseas market is pretty strong, pretty good. Because as you look at the nearer one, all are the lower landed properties in what is this, Jalan Lehman.
All the landed properties.
All the
there,
landed properties are. These are the lower grounds over here. So overseas, more prosperous. So if you have business over there, maybe trace back the year 2018-19. Okay, was it a better year for your overseas market or business? If it's verified, that means this area is correct. Okay, for yourself.
Good. Master Charlene, please share with us more about this Northwest. What's your view?
Yeah, so for the northwest sector, I think I agree pretty much with what Master Eric is saying. The reservoir park, although it is of a wood element, which also means that that the father is someone who's able to sort of because it's a park, because it's green, right? It also means that the father's someone who's able to sort of go out there and act on things. I think I'll be a bit more worried about like the water slightly further out, also because of the word reservoir. Reservoir also does indicate water. That also means that sometimes in terms of like decision making, in terms of trying to stand his ground, that is when the fathers in the family, or even as a whole, the families may have a little bit more difficulties with.
No, spend more money only.
Yeah. Basically, your father is quite a big spender.
Spend more money.
Big tickets. Big tickets. Maybe thrifty in a certain way, but at the moment he wants to spend it's always on a big ticket. And also, Master Kuo, please share with us more. What are your views on Northwest?
Northwest, you see there's this green park down there. So like what Master Eric said, Northwest is the metal element. It actually controls the wood. So he also tells us that you want to earn money, you need to put in some effort. You don't expect to sit in the house, 翘脚, wait for money to fall. I think it's impossible if you stay here.
Good. Actually, when you see landed property in the Northwest, also symbolize that the father has this 贵气 in him, right? This very capability, this ability to work very hard because of the park over there, the big reservoir, green over there. That means the father is a very hardworking person. When there's a community center, it symbolizes that the father is basically also happy-go-lucky, jovial, is very friendly kind of person. So it's good property for a business person.
Basically, it's a very strong sector.
Yeah, it's one of the strongest sectors which I like, which I like a lot. Okay, good. Having said that, we also want to move on to the next issue. That would be the site map. Okay. I can tell you something about the site map. It's kind of disappointing. Okay, I just want to enlarge it further. We are stuck behind it for a bit. Disappointing. Why are we disappointing? I think Master Paul has a bit of things to share regarding this site map, Master.
Well, if you look at the map itself, it's not a very squarish or rectangle type of landscape. So you can see there's quite a few missing sectors, okay, which is something that need to be addressed on. Okay, so if you really brought this property, don't worry, Ai got us.
Okay, I think I want to give a shout out to a lot of listeners out there, viewers out there. Ng Lee Kwang, thank you. Good afternoon. Maggie, good afternoon. And Melissa, good afternoon. Wow, a lot of our existing clients. Now, a site map is basically the place where your property is. That means basically the Huayuan, or basically your plot over there. When you have a triangle looking plot over here, it symbolizes fire element. I say it's a triangle looking. I did not say it's a triangle, okay? Because there's 4 corners, but it looks more triangle than anything, okay?
Tapered.
Tapered, yeah, I think that's correct. The word's tapered, okay? So the father over here, like I said, may feel a bit of authority being challenged, okay? The first son, the first daughter may also feel very uncomfortable because of the fire elements. They may not like to stay in the house too much. They may like to be always out there, kai, or they want to go and spend more time with their friends outdoor. Okay, that's one of my concerns as well. Okay, also, Charlene, have anything to say about this?
Yeah, I think I find it very interesting that the in and out is in the south sector. That also means that the second daughter probably is someone who likes to go in and out of the house a lot. I think in terms of going back to the point I was talking about earlier about relationships, I think individuals who sort of stay in this house have a bit more up and down movement in terms of relationships, also in terms of emotions, because of where the door is placed, coupled by the exterior. I think that is something that we see, that synchronicity of information based on both this site map and also the earlier plan, the street directory plan we were looking at earlier.
Wow, that's a good point. That's a good point. Master, anything to share?
Well, basically, I think I just want to bring up this to everyone. Why are we doing this? Looking out all the external environment. This is to trace back what happened or what can be happening, so that we know precisely what to do internally in your home. So not to worry of the external. We can't change them. Okay, we can't just tear it down. Okay, but internally we can make it better, to balance out, to control it, to enhance it, to strengthen it. Okay, so basically that's what we do.
Okay, good point. We also want to point out to you, if you're looking for a property, as much as possible, try to look for one that is squarish, all right, without any cavities or missing corners.
It's very hard.
Very hard, very
Yes.
difficult, very difficult. HDB also not providing that anymore.
No perfect home.
Yeah, no perfect home. HDB used to produce squarish houses. With untrained eyes, you think your house looks squarish, but it's not. Over here, you can see a floor plan, and this floor plan is not for AMO Park. Okay, it's a general floor plan. I just want to share this with everybody, or rather educate everybody what to look out for when you look into the properties. The pink colors ones are those cavities, or what we call missing corners. And we have pink colors in the west. For example, here it symbolizes the year coming 2029, or in the past 2017. You may have some atrocity, some not so smooth sailing in the first part of the month of the 6 months. Okay, now a lot of people ask me this question, Masters, we have not even moved into this house. How can you tell? I think this is something that we want to share with everybody. This is really what we call there's some noise behind.
Master Go.
Master Ko, is that you? Okay. So we want to share with everybody that because you're purchasing this property, you have intention to buy this property, your patterns, your luck analysis can be reflected onto by the map. Okay, meaning to say you like what you like. You do not like.
Synchronized, basically. Yes.
Correct. Those are synchronized. You will not like what you don't like. For example, you like white color. Generally, everything you purchase is white color. If you do not like pink color, things you don't, you just want to buy pink color stuff. So here you can see in the west sector you have a cavity, and that is not good. It also means that you're not proper in communication. And you see that there is also southwest also missing corner. It also seems like it's not stable for the mother. Okay, having said that, when you purchase property that has a green protruding, that means in the north, the northeast, and the southeast, for example, this protruding is very good, yes. But we also want you to take note of the not protruding one, and those are the one that's very great concern to us. Okay, good. And then this is the link to all the 6 ebooks. Try to get this ebook, especially the ones about the 7 vital informations before you purchase a property, and that one's going to be useful for you, for people who are at the showroom now, or people looking into this property. Okay, good. Anything else to add on, Masters?
No.
Well, if you have any questions, just write to us. Yeah. And we'll be happy to answer your queries. And if any matters regarding Feng Shui matters, all our master will be happy to help you on this.
Correct.
Yeah.
Rather, if you have any query on Feng Shui, do take note of the QR code, scan it, and then our office, Wendy, will definitely be quick to reply you. But do give Wendy a 2 days or 3 days MC because she's really down with COVID. Okay, and this is our next up and coming show. I think we did a show last week, and everybody is so concerned about office politics that we want to do an office politics series. It's coming August 13th of August. Again, the time will be 3:13. All right, so out there, people, if you have having some issues with politics in the office, we would definitely want to.
How to stab the other person?
I know.
How to backstab your colleague.
No lah, more defensive lah, not so offensive lah.
All right, these masters are trying to stir up a bit of things for you so that you can tune into it.
How to cheat on your boss head.
I think everybody wants to know what is the score for the property. All right, so the next slide will basically share with you the scores of this property. Okay, it's pretty good actually. I must say it's pretty good. Why I say it's pretty good because 5 being the most stars. I think Master Simas gave 3 stars.
Yep.
Okay, Master Simas gave 3 stars because there's a few MRTs around and he likes the MRTs. Energy from the MRTs. Okay, so I don't speak for Master Eric. Master Eric tells me.
Basically, I like this area is because the environment is very nice, close to parks. Yeah, but without knowing Feng Shui, you would love this place because they're so close to the nature and good schools and easy to travel. Yeah, so yeah, that's why I gave it a 3 out of 5.
Good. Yeah. Master Charlene, you want to share with us what's your 2.5 justifying on 2.5?
Yeah, so I think I've only given this 2.5 because as much as you sort of have the park in the south sector, I do not like how the bow and arrow is like in the south sector, because to me being in Ang Mo Kio, that feels like a property which generally families or couples will look for, not so much individuals, not so much singles. And to me, in a family, that relationship is very important. It's almost like the bedrock of what holds that family together. Without emotional connection, without love, right? You don't get a very healthy family, and it becomes very hard to work on the other things outside. You don't get harmony in the family, coupled by with the west sector being so weak. I think on that front, as a whole, the harmony in the family it is not very strong. It's a lot of things that I'm seeing missing, which I ideally would want in a family. So also considering how it's very stressful on the mom, I think with all these factors coupled together, I feel like this may not be a place that is very suited for families, considering a location like that would be slightly more suited towards families. So I think I've given it a 2.5. It's still a place where if I were to go in, there are very concrete adjustments to the house which we're able to make to sort of bring it upwards. But as a house itself, if you have really bought the place, if you are looking to buy the place, I really urge you to look for us to see what is it that we can do for your house. Or even if you haven't bought the place, take a look at what are some of the better units if you have already decided on this property itself.
Good. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, all our masters work on this show for free. So I strongly suggest that if you're viewing this and this is helpful to you, you want to press like and share, or follow us in our YouTube, or follow us in our Facebook, and that'll be a great help to us, a great encouragement for us to continue working towards giving you more Feng Shui review and smashing Feng Shui. All right. So, Master Kuo, please share with us how does your 2.5 come about?
How my 2.5 star come from? To me, it's just past properties, because if I were to look at this property, the very first sector I will look at is always the east, because it represents me. So if the east is weak, right, usually the property will get a rather low score for me. That's because of my personal opinion. Then we talk about the east and the west. The west is also pretty weak. Then, this is something that I don't really like. But of course, I give it a 2.5 adjust pass is because it can be addressed. Okay, 还有得救. Okay, then another thing is, if you want your spouse, your wife to go out and work, then you at your house car wait for money to come. Okay maybe you can choose this property. Oops, I revealed the secret. Okay, that's why I give a 2.5.
Okay. I had a discussion with Master Sharon just yesterday regarding this property. Both of us come to the conclusion that 2.5. We like a few things. We just mentioned this few things to you. First and foremost is it's near a few MRT station, which is very good, which is very crucial in terms of giving the property a much higher rating. However, what really pulls down the properties in terms of stars for us is because of the two sectors, the northeast sector and the southwest sectors. The southwest sector and the northeast sector in this property, especially the northeast sector, is very unstable. Certain things are very good, certain things are not good at all. Okay, in fact, it's punishing the northeast sector. That's the reason why when the northeast sector or the southwest sector are having some issues, we tend to give it a slightly uh, lower point. We would like to give it 3, but after much consideration, we think 2.5 is a very fair.
Look for us. I'll give you 3.
We can increase up to 4 for you. All right, good. 4.5. All right,
Sure.
good. All right, so thank you very much, everyone, for
Tuning in.
tuning in. We really appreciate it. For friends out there, if you want to know more about the Northeast and the Southwest, or a few things that we held back not sharing with you, please join our fan club. Okay, call Wendy 8448-7416. Just text her will do. Wendy will follow up with you. Okay, and we'll share more in our fan club. Okay, and having said that, I really want to push it further to show everybody that if you are free this coming 13th of August, do tune in to our Smashing Feng Shui Summit. Okay, good. I think I've said everything. Master Charlene, you have anything to add on?
No, all good.
All good. Master Kuo?
No,
Good. Thank you for supporting us, even though you are out in KL doing your trainings. Master Eric?
I'm good.
You're good. Okay, so there you go, everybody. Good afternoon to you again, and be nice to the local people, especially local business. We all need your support. Be nice to your neighbor. Stay healthy and stay safe. See you guys. Bye bye.
Bye.
bye.